Hey everybody, it's Sushi and we're back and better than ever, baby. We're back. Woo! Okay, it's now. I'm gonna bathe. It's currently 5:57. So I am going to bathe and get ready, and then we're gonna start this video. But I need to fix that, yeah. So catch you later. I'm back in bed than ever. Let's just take a moment to appreciate how pretty the sky looks now. It looks so pretty. Anyways, if you are a person who gets scared easily, I do not recommend you watch this video. Just say today this is the first episode of my new series I'm gonna make called Spooky Shii. Spooky Shii, not she. First episode. We're starting a series, y'all. So if you get scared easily, I do not recommend you watch this video. And we're just gonna there's nothing much to explain. Let's just get into it. It's pretty self-explanatory. But let's change the setting and the mood because it's scary stuff. I can't do scary stuff like this. Okay? About 2 years ago, I was driving home from a family reunion pretty late at night, and the drive was about 2 hours. I didn't stay the night because I had to be back for work the following day. Most of the drive was on a road with dense bushes and trees on either side, the real creepy ones you see a lot in movies. Anyway, I had been driving about 45 minutes and I was starting to get really tired. You know how sometimes you just suddenly become really tired out of nowhere? Well, yeah, that happened to me. I knew I wasn't going to last, but I didn't come across any place that I felt I could park and safely sleep. Why are you sleeping? The girl, so you're feeling tired while you're driving and you want to go and park on the side of the road and go and sleep? Yeah. Where you from? Where you from? People just do that? Anyways, after it became clear to me that I wasn't going to find a place to pull up and my tiredness wasn't going away, I did something very questionable. I pulled over to the side of the road onto the grass behind some bushes to try and hide my car from anybody else who was going to come past. The roads weren't empty. I came across another car every few minutes or so. I made a mental note that the time was 11:22 and then fell asleep. Why is she going behind bush and and then they're wondering why bad crazy things happen? First of all, the first one going and walking the woods, going away from the path. That one going to go park behind a bush and sleep because she feeling tired. Anyways, sometime later I was awoken by a scratching sound. I looked at the clock. It was 11:50. The sound stopped after a few seconds, and because I was still extremely tired, I didn't bother looking around and simply went back to sleep. I was later awoken by the same sound and it was now 12:40. This time it really freaked me out because the sound didn't stop. The thought ran across my mind that it was just an animal inspecting the car. But why would it return almost an hour after it had left the previous time? Exactly. I looked in my rearview mirror and just managed to catch a glimpse of something running away into the forest. Now at the time, I thought it was a damn hook killer. You know, the one that scratched the couple's car and then slaughtered the guy when he got out to investigate? Oh yeah, that's normal horror movies. Frick that, I thought to myself. So I got the heck out of there. There was a bend no more than 100 yards up the road, and as I came around it, there was a friggin' car parked off to the side of the road with the driver's side door opened. I slowed down just to look to see if anyone was there. There wasn't. Then I looked in my rearview mirror. I didn't see anything, and all of a sudden this guy comes sprinting around the corner. He starts screaming at me, shouting stuff like, hey you, get the frick out of your car now. I noped the frick out of there and sped off. I never saw the guy again. Moral of the story, don't freaking sleep on the side of the desert. Nobody going to sleep. Who in their right mind? She's saying not to self, or moral of the story, don't sleep on the side of deserted road. My girl, nobody does be doing that. Next one. Creep factor, probably like a 5, because it was the actual person, so they could have killed you if you had go outside and inspect, which you're not supposed to do. Don't be dumb, and if something else pop out of nowhere, don't go and look for the person. Just drive, because if you look, there's a 9 out of 10 chance that somebody can kill you. Anyways, next one. I hope this is scary, because I haven't seen any scary things yet, and I need to be scared. Y'all, I need to get, these things are not scary. These are not scary. I need some very scary, spine chilling stories. And if you see anything behind me, don't tell me. Okay, so you're probably wondering, where have I been? Why do I have a different hairstyle? We went for a drive last minute, and yeah, my hair got dry, so it decided to dry up, so I let go the top. So we're gonna continue this video. These ones are 7 spine tingling true stories, scarier than any horror movie. I had to change it up because these other stories were not scary. They were like simple. So yes. Okay, the first one is called Running Water. I had to take care of my mentally handicapped cousin a few years back. She could get around well enough, but due to severe arthritis in her knees and ankles, she had to be watched, helped into the bath, stuff like that. I would go into her room in the morning, help her to her walker, and make her breakfast. One morning, I heard the water running in the bathroom when I went in to check on her. I had to pass her room on the way to the bathroom. When I did, I saw that she was in her rocking chair in the corner, her blanket over her head, and she was rocking back and forth. Don't let the water on. Don't leave the water on. You're going to flood the place. I went into the bathroom to shut the faucet off, and my cousin was there washing her face. I immediately ran back to the room, but it was just her blanket crumpled up in the rocking chair. My cousin wanted to know why I undid her bed. I didn't stay too long after that. Okay, that was pretty good. I probably give that a 7. It was nice. Cause you going on help your cousin, you think you see your cousin rocking in the chair with a blanket over her head, and then you see your cousin in the bathroom washing her face, and when you come back you're not there. No thanks. I out there one time, I taken my cousin with me and we are going. Take one dog sense. I had a dog once that was super loyal and loving, and would always come running to me when I called, and would almost crash into me whenever I had treats for him. One day, sitting in the living room, all of his hair stood up on his back, and he was just staring over my shoulder, growling and showing his teeth. No matter what I would do to try to get him to come to me, he would never break his tail at that one spot and just kept growling. I eventually carried him out of the room because he was freaking me and my roommates out too bad. Dogs and babies and little children, according to science and stuff, they can see different things, and their eyes, okay, basically dogs, you know how dogs have different kind of eyes from us. They can see in different lights, and like spirits are in a different type of light that we cannot pick up. It's a whole research it for yourself. That's too much for me to explain. I was next one, the caller. Next caller. Okay, sorry. I was 14 or so years old. My mom was grocery shopping and my brother was at his friend's house. I was all by myself at home. The phone rang and it was my grandmother screaming frantically at me. She eventually calmed down enough to say she got a call from my mom saying, "Help the kids," over and over again. She said it was our number on the caller ID. I told her this was impossible, my mom was out shopping. She was adamant. My mom walked in while my grandma was still on the phone. My mom calmed her down and assured her we didn't call her. She was still freaked out, so we went over to her house. She showed us our number on the caller ID at the time. At a time when nobody should have called. It was very creepy. Okay, I'll give that a 5. Wait, the other one, it was like 3, 4. Well, that's scary stuff. The first one I read was pretty spooky, you know. Okay, next one, broken glass. About 4 years ago, my roommate and I were both in my room talking one night. No TVs or computers on. From the direction of his room, which shared a wall with my room, but was a good distance away door to door, we heard the distinct, loud sound of glass breaking. It sounded like someone purposefully picked up a large vase and threw it on the ground. We even felt it vibrate the floor. Of course, we armed ourselves and got up the courage to do a SWAT-style sweep of the house. We never found anything broken or out of place. So you're just chilling, and then you're hearing "Prakex," and then you're seeing your stuff. You're hearing broken stuff, but you're not seeing broken stuff, and you're the only people there. I'll just stay in my room. I'm not going to move. I'm not gonna look for nothing. I'm staying in my room till the night is over, and I'm leaving. I will not stay in a haunted house. Who does that? Floating mom. My son was 2. He was in a pattern of waking us up at about 5 a.m. every morning. Just so. One morning I took him downstairs and plopped him in front of the TV so I could go back to sleep for about 40 minutes on the couch right by him. Okay, I thought she was gonna stay back in her room because the boy 2 years old. I woke up a few minutes later and he was standing in the foyer, pointing into the kitchen laughing. He said, "Mommy is floating in the kitchen." I didn't think much of it, went back to sleep for a bit. About 30 minutes later, his mom came downstairs, having just woken up, saying she had one of those weird dreams where she flew out of her body. Went downstairs and found herself in the kitchen. Wait, what? Also, it's the father. The father was going on sleep. So mommy was floating in the kitchen. That's weird. I give it a 7. I confused them. So you can't see, bring a child in front of the TV and you lie down next to him. They said, "Mommy floated in the kitchen." And then you're like, "Just so?" And then you go back and sleep. And then your woman tell you she had a weird experience. Yeah, that was nice. Devil dog. Ooh. One of the court buildings I used to visit in a smaller town outside of where I lived had a hobo who lived in the bushes nearby. This guy was crazy as heck and completely dysfunctional. He always smelled of crap. His clothes were basically rotting off him. He had all of these weird little talisman type things made of twisted wire and other random trash dangling from his dreadlocked hair and clothes. He would walk around mumbling and generally acting crazy. So the creepy thing about this hobo was his dog. Everywhere he went, and I do mean everywhere, he was followed by this pitch black dog of some indeterminate breed. Indeterminate breed. It would stay about 3 meters behind this guy at all times. It ignored everyone else except him. And I do mean ignored. You could touch it, pet it or anything and it would not react in any way. I never saw it eat. Even when someone threw a sausage or meat down in front of it, it didn't react in any way like any natural dog I ever saw. The only person it had any reaction was the hobo. Reaction to was the hobo. If he walked towards it or acknowledged its existence in any way, it would go insane, snarling, foaming, snapping at him. His hands were constantly ripped to shreds because of his dog. He hated that dog with every fiber of being. Half of his insane rants were directed at the dog, but he was always too scared to go near it, and it just followed him. always the same distance away, ignoring everyone else. Finally, I asked someone of the XHOSA people who worked at the court about this hobo, because they always looked seriously uncomfortable whenever he was around. They finally, after a repeated question, told me it was an evil dog or a devil dog. After more asking, someone finally told me that the hobo used to be a highly respected member of society, a teacher or something. He cheated on his wife, who went to a witch doctor to put a curse on him. Straight after her visit, the dog appeared near him and eventually drove him crazy. I don't know if the story was true or not, but I can tell you that that was the creepiest damn dog I ever saw. Moral of the story is, don't cheat on your woman. Don't cheat on your woman. Especially if they, you know that they might have some kind of access to obia or to witchism, witchcraft. Yes, the kissing ghost. One of my good friends and her daughter took a picture of them kissing each other inside their newly purchased home. In the background, you can clearly see a figure of a little girl who was not present for the photo. After research, they found out the house used to be a crematorium. They had ghost experts come in to see if they could find anything, and they could not. The picture has changed my opinion on ghosts. Oh my god. That looking yuck. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see. It's not. Can you see it? See the girl at the back and the friends kissing? No, that's creepy. I don't want to watch that. I hope you like this series because I like scary stuff, but they weren't that scary, but they were interesting. And I know you're probably like, Solange, so you just disappear for about a month and just come back expecting us to just be like, what's going on? I had technical difficulties and I am back now for sure. For certain, I am ready, grinding, ready to give you the content you deserve. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And tell me what you want to watch. Comment down below, like, subscribe, baby girl, baby boy, whatever you are. Subscribe to my channel if you liked the vibe, if you liked the energy, if you liked me. If you liked me and what you watch. So, and tell me if you like this series, because it's not only going to be about scary stories. We're going to talk about serial killers, about history, about these things, about abandoned places and their history. Basic spooky stuff, the paranormal, the extraterrestrial, the alien stuff. Basically, weird things, creatures that we don't know about, if they're real or not. We're gonna everything. We're gonna talk about everything weird and spooky. See you later, babies. And stay tuned for the next episode of Spooky Shii. Bye bye. Wasabis. What's your name? Sushi rolls, wasabis, taekwondo. We'll figure it out in the process. Bye bye.